3, 2, 1. Well, good morning. I think we're live now, and this is my one of several updates regarding Finding the Spider, which is a new book that I'm working on and going to be publishing, God willing, in 2017. And just to reiterate, this is a foundation book for work that I'm doing for the 400th anniversary of the sailing of the Mayflower and the arrival of the separatists in America, the Pilgrim separatists, 400 years ago. I'm going to be writing 3 books around that, God willing, but Finding the Spider, I found, is the foundation for everything I'm going to be doing about that. The separatists, of course, were full of millennial fervour. They sought a city whose builder and maker is God. In addition to that, they wanted to establish a holy community, that and a whole lot more. Now, what's the difference between the old separatists, as it were, and the new separatists, which I am a founder of and a proponent of? New separatists, people that are separate to God, and then being separated to God, are separate from everything that's unholy and ungodly in the world. What's the difference? The difference is 400 years, and the difference is 400 years advancement in technology and 400 years on with the inculcation of the devil's plan to form a new world order. Now, here's the question then. Will Finding the Spider be addressing the issue of the new world order? And does the new world order actually exist? Yes, I will be addressing that issue, because yes, it does exist. You'd have to be, forgive me, but you'd have to be somewhat foolish if you didn't think that there was a push towards a new world order with the advent and the actual grip of globalism. Now, you will speak to people and they'll say, well, you know what? Our definition of what we would describe as a new world order is not less nationalistic, but rather it's more inclusive. Hogwash! Listen now, for I am a nationalist. But before I'm a nationalist, I am, negatively speaking, I am not a globalist. And there's a reason why I make those two statements. Now, I've said that I'm a nationalist. That's a problem in Britain, because nationalism is associated with the far right. I want to tell you that nationalism is associated with the Bible, first of all. It was God who, when mankind first got together, in a form of globalism, to bring in a one world government, a one world culture, and at that time a one world language. When that happened, it was to actually exalt Satan and mankind to the heavens. It was a further progression of his plan. Remember, we stand between two bookends, the bookends of two battles. The first battle, the fall of Satan, and the last battle, Armageddon. Everything is being pushed now towards that last battle, and globalism is part of that. In other words, God stepped in at the Tower of Babel, and he confused everyone's languages and he split them apart. Very much like you would get an orange and peel it, you'd find each of that orange is full of segments separate from one another. The rot, when it does occur, will occur initially within one segment and not the whole. This is the blessing of nationalism. It's a safety measure to keep our wicked hearts being in the path of rebellion, in the path of pride with Satan, and raising ourselves up even more against the Most High God. Therefore, I am a nationalist on that measure. In other words, I think nationalism is a safety for the whole of humankind, and I think it's God initiated. It's nothing to do with saying that my culture is better than other people's, though I must say this, some cultures are just far better because they've been influenced by the Bible, the God of the whole Bible, and biblical Christianity. Let's make peace with that. Some cultures are just far better, and the West, through Christianity, has brought so much blessing to the world that I'm kind of, in a low-level way as well, of course, in a low-level way, I'm kind of proud of being from the West. I'm proud of being a Christian because of all the good that we brought to the world. Now, these leftist lunatics will not agree with that, and that's fine, because I'm a proponent of free speech, whereas they are not. And you've noticed that I've introduced something else into my conversation here. I've introduced language, and I've introduced them and us. I've introduced globalism and nationalism. The separation here, Robert. There's not a coming together, there's separation. Yes, I'm a separatist, a new separatist. And I thank God for separation because it stops the rot spreading. And I have to acknowledge that some cultures are better than others as well. Will I be talking about the New World Order? Yes, I will. Will I be talking about nationalism? Yes, I will. Will I be talking about the New World Order as it actually relates to a one world religion? Yes, I will. And I can tell you right now that there is a push to actually push together what is considered to be the three major world religions of Judaism, Christianity and Islam under one head. Because we are all, after all, Abrahamic tradition religions. No, we're not. We're absolutely not. We are, after all worshipping the same God. No, we're not. Not at all. There is a massive difference between the God of the Bible and the God of Islam. An enormous difference. In addition to that, Islam is an antichrist religion that actually tells Christian people not to worship Jesus as the Son of God. And it does that from one of its most holiest places in Jerusalem there, the Grand Mosque. Listen, there is nevertheless a push to bring these three religions together and every other religion underneath them, as it were, and that will have one head, and that will be the Pope, in my opinion. And I'll come back to that in the book as well. Is there a push towards a new world order? Is there a push towards forced globalization? Is there a push towards the homogenization of culture and language and religion? Yes, there is. And there's one purpose in this: to bring together a worldwide rebellion against the Most High God under one federal head, and that will be the man of sin, Satan himself. I'm going to be covering all of this and linking it to other things that are happening in the 21st century for the new separatists who are looking for the coming of Jesus Christ and his kingdom to be well aware of what is going on. Thank you very much for listening to me regarding this update today. Some of you are aware that we also publish Night Whispers. Night Whispers are daily devotional material. We bring out 4 of these a year, and these are for the new separatists as well. In fact, this one is volume 2, quarter 4, Q4 of the year, and it's called The New Separatists. And in these books you will find that there is there's a lead Bible verse. Can you see that there? And in addition to that, there's some commentary, closing Bible verse and prayer. These are very, very useful. People like them very much indeed. Well, God bless you. Let me see if I can close this down, and I look forward to speaking to you tomorrow.